Welcome to our June 2023 market update. Last month in May, the numbers were fantastic. Everything was up. But this June, things are halting just a little bit. Some of the numbers are down, some of them are up. But today I'm going to break down for you what the different areas across the GTA are doing, so that way you can be prepared going forward if you're looking to buy, sell, or even get into the rental market going forward. Thank you so much for watching my videos. My name is Mike Carpino. I'm with iPro Realty in the Greater Toronto area, and today I'm going to break down the market report for you guys and what it actually means. Summer months generally are slow, so it's not going to be a surprise to anybody to know that the numbers were a little bit down coming into the end of June. You've got kids who are just finishing up school, you got parents who are getting ready for maybe that family vacation, figuring out what they're going to do with their kids all summer long, and you have the beautiful weather out here. Once you have this transition from your spring to your summer market, we tend to see a lot of people kind of sit on the sidelines and wait until that fall market, or wait until their kids are back in school before it's time to start thinking about real estate again. The only people thinking about it 24/7 are the agents and the mortgage brokers out there. Buyers and sellers, you guys are going to move on waves depending on what's going on in your life, depending on what season it is. Sometimes your mental headspace and your ability to even have any interest in real estate is going to waver with the season. So summer is generally one of the slower times in the real estate market. However, the numbers, they took a little bit of a step back from May, but it's not detrimental to the market. However, if you stay tuned for the rest of the video, I will let you know what I see the market doing going forward and what detrimental factors could actually play a huge role in this market, either staying where it is or falling backwards a little bit more. So I'm going to give you just that general outlook on a average price point, like I did in the previous videos, for detached, semi-detached, freehold, condo town, and then condos. I'm not going to run through all the numbers with you here. So the way I'm going to do this today is I'm going to give you the average price for a home in the specific city that I'm going to discuss, and then I will pop up the infographic like this one here and show you the breakdown on how we're getting that average price point and what the specific housing types are. So we're going to start today with Burlington. Your average home in Burlington is going to cost you $1,178,000, and if you look at the infographic here, you're going to see the breakdown between all housing types, and a lot of this is going to be based on that average, which is really going to be affected by how many units sold. You'll notice there's always less semi-detached units, according to the infographic here, than there is generally townhouses or detached or condos. So that's going to affect how high or how low some of these prices are. Once we get out of Burlington, we're going to head into Milton, and the average price in Milton for a property is $1,115,000. Not that far off. We are still in the Halton region, but just a little bit of a step back from what it's going to cost you to get your average home in Burlington. Hopping over to, of course, the prime of Halton would be Oakville. They're at 1.56, so just under 1.6 million for your average home in Oakville. Oakville, across the board, year over year, has always been one of those prime locations. No surprise here that it's just blowing the other areas in Halton out of the water. Now, we're going to head into more the Peel region, and then we'll stop in Toronto for that final stop. But if we're talking Brampton, we've got the average price of a home at $1,113,000. In Brampton, we're seeing a lot more detached transactions than we are in some of the other places. We're also seeing more townhouses and more semi-detached because there's just more of that product available, especially if you're comparing it to a Burlington, for example. There's just not nearly as many semis because there's a lot of older areas where that wasn't a prevalent development. Now, if you're in Brampton or Mississauga, builders are doing a lot more freehold townhouses, condo townhouses, semis as well. So there's a little bit more variety when you're in the Peel region. After Brampton, we'll head out to Mississauga at $1,112,000 being that average price for a house. Now, the funny thing is Brampton is slightly ahead of Mississauga. We all know that the average home in Mississauga should be worth more, but these numbers are always skewed because they're based on the amount of sales and transactions across the board. So if there was, a higher transactional ratio on the condo front in Mississauga, which there was, you're going to see that average price point be pulled down because your average condo is just not as expensive as the average detached. Whereas Brampton, there's not a lot of condos, so you're not going to have that pull on that condo front coming down. Now, once we finish up in Mississauga, I'm going to take you guys to Toronto, where the average home is $1,152,000. Not as high as it was last month, just a hair down from where it was. But the thing that you're going to have to keep in mind, once again, is Toronto, you're getting a ton of condo transactions. In Toronto, there's 1,437 Toronto condo transactions last month. Comparing that to 800 detached homes. So you're almost double the amount of condo transactions opposed to these detached homes in Toronto. And that's going to pull down that average price. It's still a very high average price, but there's always that skew when you're talking condos and the amount of transactions that happen in that particular category. Now, what does all this data mean? I'm just talking a lot of numbers here. I've popped up all the infographics and I can send you them if you are interested. Just comment down below, send me those graphics, and I will send you over the data. But what I think is going to happen going forward is we have a Bank of Canada announcement next week. And they already increased the interest rates this June, just a quarter point. But we have seen some hesitation on the buyer side. In the last 2 weeks of June, whether it be school finishing, parents maybe getting out of the market for the summer, or maybe it was those interest rates that scared people off just a little bit, and the murmurs that we might get another increase next month. If we do get this increase next month, the July numbers may continue to fall as well, because we're not seeing the same buyer confidence that we were even 2 weeks ago. The real estate market's very fickle. Every time there's an announcement from the Bank of Canada, every time there's an inflation report, we've got people who are making their judgment calls based on so many different factors. Now, we had economic report come out last month telling us that the inflation numbers were better. We're at 3.4%. But a lot of these articles are very skewed. You're going to see that the inflation numbers were definitely better. However, it was almost 100% due to the fact that the gas prices have come down year over year. When you're looking at cost of groceries, cost of housing, everything else is up. So it's a very skewed view, and these numbers are not telling you, or the articles themselves rather, are not telling you the truth to the economic situation we're actually in. When you're looking at any of these news articles, you need to look at it from a big picture. You need to understand that that headline or what they're trying to convey to you is not always 100% what things mean in the actual article, right? So if they're saying inflation numbers are down, yes, they are down, but they're not getting to that real point that the numbers are still very high and things are becoming even more unaffordable for people. There's some people who are paying $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 a month more than they were last year for their mortgage payments monthly, myself included. And those people are, you choose your variable rate, you live with it, you ride with it, but think about $1,200 additionally just for your mortgage, not on top of the grocery costs and all the additional costs that are coming around right now with the inflation. So take all of that into account. If we do get some more increases, and I hope we don't, but I do have a instinct that we will get an increase next week, take a step back, look at the market, and I would probably caution you, if you're a buyer, not to act this week and maybe wait till next week, see if there is that drop off, and you might kind of eliminate some of the other buyers who are out there and they can no longer afford to buy with the hiked interest rates, and you might find some sellers are willing to maybe negotiate just a little bit more because they are scared that the market might drop and they want to sell now. If you found my video helpful today, if you could please hit that like button, comment down below what you want to see in the next market update video, and I'd be glad to add that for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.